President Tinubu expresses Nigeria's readiness as one of Africa's permanent representatives in UN Security Council. Federal government deploys resources to provide basic services in rural communities. And Federal Character Commission strategizes with Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority to drive inclusivity in national investment initiatives. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The Japanese government has promises to reinforce partnerships with African countries with about $5.5 billion investments to tackle economic challenges and aid development on the continent. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba made the commitment at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Developments during its opening in Yokohama. State House correspondent Musbah Damhab reports that President Bola Tinubu expressed Nigeria's readiness to be one of Africa's representatives in the United Nations Security Council permanent seat.
President Bola Tinubu at the Yokohama International Conference Center for the 2025 ticket, his first appearance on this platform of partnership. Japan, with support from the UN, World Bank and the African Development Bank, is expressing readiness to take partnership with Africa higher. As agreed here, such partnership has yielded some growth in Africa in the last 32 years. But then, challenges in the education, health and energy sectors, as well as infrastructural deficits and insecurity, remain in parts of the continent.
Tackling this crisis requires a clear focus not only on development for Africa, but on development with Africa. And I salute Japan for making this the focus of its cooperation with the continent.
Yet, African leaders believe in the reliability of collaboration with Japan toward the attainment of the African Agenda 2063 and its developmental efforts, which were slowed down by the COVID-19 experience.
We will be able to utilize SDGs as well as Agenda 2063 as a major driving force to solve African challenges. The probability to achieve these goals would depend on interdependency between countries. We are living in interdependency, and we have no option than multilateralism. When we acknowledge that fact, the probability of success will further be elevated.
Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba assures of more action to the Japanese government's promises to walk the distance along with African countries towards finding innovative solutions to challenges facing the continent, including women and youth capacity building, industrialization, and promotion of peace and security.
Now we are entering an era when solutions originating from Africa will save the international community, including Japan. Japan wishes to remain a reliable partner that works together, a trusted partner with Africa, providing solutions to one another. As proof of Japan's commitment to action, we would definitely put into action what we have promised.
President Bola Tinubu reported on Nigeria's success in the war against terrorism and insecurity, and why conversing Japan's support for Africa to intensify advocacy for UN Security Council reform, the Nigerian leader says his country is ready to serve as one of the continent's representatives in the Council's permanent seats category. In Yokohama, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
And beyond donor funds, the federal government is deploying resources to fight poverty through the provision of basic services, particularly in rural communities. To ensure delivery on targets, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is enforcing coordination among stakeholders to reduce duplication of efforts. Benny Adams reports that this is coming from the need to address financial management issues of federal projects funded by donor agencies and the National Treasury, where the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, alongside partners, say every penny must be accounted for and its benefits felt by Nigerians.
Expect improvement in the various facets that these projects are seeking to address. Every project, we have currently ongoing about 50 projects. Each of those projects is addressing a particular area, from agriculture to education to healthcare, name it. Every aspect, is addressed. And there are specific projects with project objectives, so if you do not handle the financial aspect very well, then you may have failures here and there.
With more coordination, any naira invested will yield more results. So I think the emphasis is on more coordination. Yes, donor funds are now depleting, but we are very hopeful. But the National Assembly will step up and appropriate using national resources to provide for alleviating poverty at the grassroots level.
More than 50 ongoing projects are being supervised by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, while the World Bank portfolio in Nigeria alone is worth $18.2 billion. An Africa Business Roundtable is encouraging industrialists in Nigeria's business environment to leverage Africa's emerging markets by demonstrating leadership and innovation. Vivian Izadife reports that the event focused on expanding access to the Nigeria-Africa market to enhance sustainability and economic development.
This assemblage is a quest seeking collaboration to birth ideas where businesses can thrive beyond borders and grow into conglomerates by taking advantage of the boundless opportunities within the African continent. Stakeholders took turns speaking about the robust business opportunities embedded within Africa.
To be sustainable, there are two things that has to be. What you have to have a succession plan, and you have to be able and willing, have an open mind to evolve. Otherwise, you stay stuck.
We are talking about Africa, and we have over 1 trillion opportunity in the AFCFTA market. So most times, I think our focus on Europe and American, Asian market should even come down now, because we have enough market in the house in Africa here.
That African businesses are ready for expansion, ready for high yield returns, ready for profitability.
Entities were equally made to economic managers to create enabling environments that will attract internal and external investments.
Or what has been stolen with us. But fortunately, we do have what it takes to progress. And to make it sustainable is to build those trusts.
So the AFCFTA, we're aligning with their objectives to promote made in Africa products.
Those who have contributed to and positively impacted their communities were recognized.
Yeah, I feel very honored, and I appreciate them greatly.
Really great, because this shows that somebody's seen and somebody truly appreciates your work.
These events serves as a powerful reminder that through collaboration and strategic foresight, African businesses can achieve unprecedented growth and make a lasting global impact. In Abuja, Vivian Izadife.
With the persistent declining revenue challenges and the subsequent pressure on governments meeting targets, the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, in collaboration with the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Jos Plateau State, has organized a training on strategies for increased fiscal efficiency and enhanced government revenue. The workshop is expected to reinforce the principles of fiscal responsibility by enhancing participants' capacity to implement reforms that strengthen transparency and accountability, provide a roadmap for improved fiscal efficiency, sustainable revenue mobilization, and reduction of leakages in government finance, and also encourage synergy between fiscal policy makers, regulators, and institutional leaders for better economic governance. Nigeria's national broadcaster and Africa's largest television network, the NTA, is being positioned to create deep connections with viewers and audiences around the world. And Nnamdi Adiko reports that the NTA is currently undergoing a critical facility upgrade targeting content quality improvements, news and programs impact, as well as expanding its reach and reliability.
These days, television is all about integrated feeds, real-time data and advanced technology, all morphing to evolve quality content that meets audiences' expectations.
Modernization is therefore key, and NTA realizes it must move beyond continued reliance on obsolete technology. By integrating new technologies into an already existing framework and doing so almost seamlessly while maintaining 24/7 broadcast requires near military precision.
And that is what the NTA is doing with its latest upgrade in broadcast facilities. It has invested in a fleet of state-of-the-art digital HD SDI broadcast equipment, most of which have been rolled out and dispatched to its stations across the country. And what we see now are transformations of dim analog control rooms and studios into vibrant, fully digitized production hubs. In many cases, brand new iPad digital transmitters were acquired and dispatched to some state stations in a bid to push NTA's signal further and clearer than ever before.
This equipment that we receive are highly definition equipment that have improved the quality of our signal, and it's an investment worthwhile.
And for sure, the quality of what that will be coming out of our studios now will really be greater, brighter, crisp picture to our viewers at home.
The target is not only to replace crumbling equipment, but to upgrade to modern, energy-efficient digital units. Already, early signs from NTA's zonal centers are promising. The quality of the signals and broadcasts from the zones that have been upgraded are turning viewers accustomed to the old NTA. And to guarantee broadcasts stay on air, come rain or shine, grid or no grid, massive solar power plants like the 60 kVA systems in Enugu have been set up to ensure power reliability.
With that, we have tackled the issue of power outage.
We received 3 JVC cameras. We received 2 55-inch monitors, tripods, an editing system that is called ThinkStation, LED lights, vision and audio mixers, and other accessories that are very, very useful.
The equipment will no doubt enhance our output, our productions, and give us more leverage.
So far, nearly 5 billion naira worth of investment have gone into this round of upgrade, and for NTA as the national broadcaster, that speaks to deeper issues beyond just ratings. For NTA, the imperatives are clear. To survive the times and competitive arena of media convergence, it must continue to balance its monumental legacy with an uncompromising digital future. In Abuja, Nnamdi Adiko, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
The power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Welcome back. Nigerian soldiers need the support from their spouses, immediate family, and community to cope with the physical and psychological effects of war and security operations. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the coordinator, National Defense College Officers' Wives Association, Isabella Okosun, stated this in Abuja during a seminar to sensitize Army officers' wives on how to manage traumatic stress disorders.
Apart from the First and Second World War, the Nigerian Armed Forces personnel have participated in different internal security operations. These experiences most times pose significant physical and mental challenges to serving military officers, soldiers, veterans, and sometimes their family members. These challenges include depression, anxiety, phobia, while their spouses face emotional battles.
At all other security agencies, they can only function maximally only if their backbone, which is their family, their wives and kids, are in a state of absolute mental and physical health.
This seminar is seeking solutions for members of the families of soldiers faced with this dilemma.
The seminar, therefore, was born out of a need to discuss military families and mental health, as well as possible ways of mitigation. The seminar offers us opportunities to advance knowledge and share ideas on solving inherent problems associated with mental health as it affects the military families.
Counseling and seeking professional guidance are helpful ways of improving the mental health of families of military officers faced with post-traumatic stress disorders. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 13 worshippers have lost their lives in a reprisal attack by bandits in Ngumwan Mantao community, Malumfashi local government area of Katsina State. The incident occurred during morning prayers when suspected bandits launched a reprisal attack, shooting sporadically in the mosque. A statement by Katsina State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Dr. Nasir Muazu, says that the attack was in retaliation to the community's successful defense efforts 2 days earlier, where scores of bandits were ambushed and killed, and rescued victims of abduction in Ruwan Sai village, seized 3 motorcycles as well as 2 AK-47 rifles. Following the tragic incident, the state government says it has reinforced security in the community. This is in addition to joint deployments of Air Components Commander of the Forward Operating Base Nigerian Army and Nigeria Police Force to contain further attacks in the community. Vice President Kashim Shettima has led a high-powered delegation to Kogi State to condole with Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo over the passing of his father, Alhaji Ahmed Momo Sani Ododo. Upon arrival, the Vice President was warmly received by the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Joe Salifu, and several high-ranking officials at the Obajana airstrip. The Vice President described the late Alhaji Ahmed Momo Sani as a man of deep faith and remarkable humility, whose life of service to God and humanity continues to reflect in the leadership qualities of his son, Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo. He urged the governor and the entire Ododo family to be consoled by the fact that their father lived a fulfilled life, leaving behind enduring legacies of discipline, truthfulness, and compassion. Governor Ododo expressed profound appreciation to the Vice Presidents, accompanied by Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State, for personally visiting despite his tight schedule. He noted that the gesture was not just a show of solidarity to his family, but also a demonstration of the Vice President's commitment to the values of unity and compassion. In addition to monitoring and evaluation of floodplain areas in Nigeria, guests on Good Morning Nigeria want collaboration among stakeholders for quick emergency responses and timely evacuation of individuals living in flood-prone areas to higher ground if the need arises. Alika Okpanachi Arua reports.
To mitigate against flood disaster in Nigeria, guests on Good Morning Nigeria notes that flood management is the collective effort of all, hence the need for individuals living in flood-prone areas to take proactive measures and relocate to safe areas when the rain comes.
There are institutions that are there to predict this flood. And when these informations are given out, we also expect relevant emergency management authorities to do their own.
You don't need any soothsayer to tell you the calendar year when water will start falling and when the rainfall will cease. There is no local government area that you will go that our LEMC does not have life jacket.
The guests also advise state governments to take proactive measures in not only sensitizing communities, but providing them with the necessary infrastructure and aids.
We are very mindful of this, and since we were caught unaware in 2012, since then we have been working assiduously. We have what we call action plan. We have contingency planning for flooding.
We need to get authorities to regulate transportation in our inland waterways. Just 3 days ago, on the 17th precise, there was a boat mishap in Sokoto State. 50 people were in that boat. As we speak, 25 were rescued. 22 are still missing, while only 3 bodies have been recovered.
We've started meetings. We're working towards adopting the issue of the flood insurance.
Dam management, dredging, distilling and clearing of drainages along waterways before the rainy season was also canvassed. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTA News.
Acting chairman of the Federal Character Commission, Kayode Oladele, has held strategic talks with the managing director of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, Aminu Umar Sadiq, in Abuja, as both agencies join forces to drive inclusivity in national investment initiatives. The meeting, held at the Commission's headquarters, focused on aligning the operations of the NSIA with the Federal Character Principle, a policy designed to promote fairness and equal representation across Nigeria's diverse regions. The two leaders discussed ways of ensuring that investments-driven development projects reflect the country's diversity and reach underserved communities.
Together, we can develop a framework that ensures projects are distributed fairly across the Federation, that procurement processes give opportunities to businesses from all regions, including women, youth, and persons with disabilities, and that the jobs and skills generated by NSIA-funded projects are equitably shared among Nigerians.
Everybody is a shareholder in the institution, and therefore, irrespective of profitability, irrespective of traffic, irrespective of the willingness and ability to pay in certain jurisdictions of the country, it is fundamental, it is important that all Nigerians feel the impact of our institution.
Industry players are standing firmly on the conviction that building a resilient oil and gas industry requires sustainable production capacity, well-being of the workforce, and a conducive operating environment. These formed core messages at the opening of the Pengassan Energy and Labour Summit underway in Abuja. Joseph Otsen reports.
The summit provides a platform for players in the oil and gas industry to address intertwined challenges and their impact on the nation's economy.
The true measure of stewardship is ensuring every worker return home safely. Unsafe conditions must never be the price for resilience. From the creeks to offshore platforms, every worker deserves a secure environment. robust safety process, continuous training, advanced technologies, and transparent reporting.
Central to discussions is how to sustain Nigeria's rising crude oil production, which has grown from below 1 million barrels per day to about 1.8 million barrels daily. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Heineken Lokpobiri, reaffirms the federal government's position that only companies with proven capacity will be issued or have their licenses renewed.
And we need every available well to be brought to production as part of, our deliberate steps towards increasing production in this country. So today, the message I want to drop here, they already have licenses on my table, seeking for extension. And I ask a question, why should I extend the licenses of those people who haven't shown capacity? Am I not suffering them more?
This new NNPC's drive includes restructuring our joint venture, monetizing our assets, and investing in critical infrastructure, such like upgrading our existing pipeline, as well as building new ones, upgrading our gas hubs, as well as building new ones. And as you know, we are determined to make sure that our refineries work.
For the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammadu Megari Dingadi, favorable working conditions remain key to building a resilient economy.
Supporting skills development and upskilling for energy transition era, and supporting fair wages and ensure that every worker in this sector is protected, empowered, and given the opportunity to strive. On health, safety, and the environment, we all know that health and safety are non-negotiable pillars of any resilient energy system.
For 3 days, industry stakeholders will deliberate on this year's theme, building a resilient oil and gas sector in Nigeria, advancing health, safety, and environment, and environmental, social, and governance. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
That concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.